our first day in Dubai and we are on our way for the desert safari. But before we reach the sand dunes for the desert safari, our first stop is for the ATV rides. We were fortunate to have an excellent driver and he made sure that we all had a memorable evening. When we saw camels here, we were almost wanting to go in for a camel ride, but our driver told us that when we go to the sand dunes, the camel ride is going to be included in our package, so we don't need to indulge in one here. And hence, we headed straight to the ATV rides. While observing from far, it did look like a fun ride, but the fun was many-fold when we actually started riding. I wasn't very sure if I would enjoy the ride because we went in the peak afternoon around 3 pm. But once on the sand, it didn't matter at all because it was too breezy and windy for us to feel the heat. And this ride is the beginning of the dune bashing. And while the ride went on for a good 45 minutes, I could shoot only a few seconds of it because this ride is something that one has to experience rather than see. And also, while I thought that the up and down motion of the car might give me motion sickness, I was absolutely wrong. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I would definitely suggest that one should go on an empty stomach so that one can enjoy the ride without any motion sickness. And this is the point where all the cars were taking a little halt after the dune bashing. The sand literally felt like silk to the skin. While initially I moved around with my shoes, I soon took to my daughter's advice and removed my shoes, and it's only when I went bare feet did I realize how cool and silky the sand was. The fun times that we spent together as a family on this silky sand will always be etched in my memory. And soon it was time to move ahead to our final stop. And while enjoying the view of the beautiful sunset, we moved ahead to our final destination for the day. And we are finally here at the base camp where we are going to enjoy everything from the camel ride to great food and great entertainment. On arrival, we were greeted with some hot coffee and very fresh dates. That is our lovely entrance. And we decided to spend some time in these cute tents while it was still not dark. It was this really simple and cute little tent, but sitting in there gave a royal feel somehow. And after this, my little animal lover decided to carry the falcon on her arm. And it's thanks to her that I got rid of my fears and decided to go in for the camel ride. It's funny how one might not want to be a part of a lot of things either due to fear or lack of interest or due to any inhibitions. But the same people will go ahead and do these very things for either their children or their parents. I'd certainly put myself in that bracket. And that too without any complaints, as I have thoroughly enjoyed the camel ride thanks to my daughter. And now, when it is the time to get off the camel, my daughter's camel immediately obeys the caretaker's orders. But my camel does take a while to get down. And in reality, it might have been just a few seconds, but to me at that point, it felt like a really long time. And here goes my daughter for yet another camel ride with her grandfather. After being content with the camel rides, we finally go inside. On the inner side, to the right and the left of the entrance, were these cute little shops. And I found these sand arts in the bottle quite fascinating. There were also souvenir and clothes shop inside, which I haven't really visited. And moving further inside, you see a stage in the center, assuming for a lot of performances that are to happen tonight, which is surrounded by a lot of these dining tables and chairs. And going ahead, at the farthest end here are the food counters. After moving along the circumference, I've almost come back near the entrance. And here's this lady who's putting mehendi for all of us. The simple one-line mehendi is free of cost, but yes, if you want an elaborate one, then you need to pay. And here are the cute souvenirs. I missed visiting the shop, but the man from the shop was moving around each and every table and showing us his collection. The food counters are yet to open up, but we're not complaining at all, totally enjoying this beautiful atmosphere and the great weather. Moving towards the food counters, there was this barbecue section. A variety of starters like the falafel, the samosas, the zaatar naan, a fruit section, a variety of vegetables, a variety of rice preparations from savory to sweet, and this entire section is a salad and dip section. I haven't covered the non-veg items though. Being vegetarians, we were not very sure whether we'll get good amount of vegetarian options, but the variety in the veg food was as much as in the non-veg food. And a special mention to the baklava, which was so good that I had almost 4 to 5 pieces. And now I wouldn't want to say much, but just sit and enjoy the beautiful 3 performances that we enjoyed. sight of the full moon, delicious food, great performances, and an amazing weather, we couldn't have asked for a better combination. The fire show was so good that we couldn't take off our eyes from the performance even for a moment. I hope I have been successful in recreating the magic called the desert safari that we experienced.